I have been making a lot of declutter videos, at least over the summer, but I think because I have a lot more time in the summer, it is a better example of when I have more free time, am I reaching for more eyeshadows, more fun colors? Because the excuse I made when I am working and when I'm in school and all that jazz is, oh, I'm not wearing all these eyeshadows, but that's just because I'm super busy. So when I'm less busy, if I'm still not wearing them, I think it's a good example of what my regular habits might be and whether or not these eyeshadows are gonna get any use anytime soon. I'm saying eyeshadows because that's what most of the things I have been decluttering has been, though I do have a few things that aren't eyeshadows and I have decluttered a few things that haven't been eyeshadows. I'm just gonna start with one that I didn't necessarily want to declutter, but it kind of just fell apart, so it decluttered itself. And that is this BH Cosmetics brush. It was a great foundation concealer blending out brush. I don't know how you can see. There's a few hairs sticking out because the glue loosened or something, but it has been shedding like crazy and just chunks have been falling out. And I have had it. I already have a similar brush to this from Wet n Wild I've had for ages, and it has not shed a single hair in all this time. So I know I can trust that one and I can just wash it more. I also have a slightly less dense and smaller, more tapered version of this from the same line of BH Cosmetics brushes, and it works as well. Or I can just use my fingers if I really want to, that still works. So I didn't necessarily want to declutter this, but it just doesn't work anymore. Oh my gosh. I kind of have been wanting to pull it out this whole time, but I don't want to make a mess, so I'm gonna shove it back in. But the only other thing that isn't an eyeshadow, I've been debating back and forth, but the reason I have decided to get rid of this blush, this is the e.l.f. Always Cheeky Primer Infused Blush. Very pretty color. It's just really orange for my preference, really like peachy but warm peach, and it looks like it might not be as warm on camera, but I just don't love this color. I have a few other warm blushes. If I want a warm blush, I would go for those, and this was just really bright. It's really vibrant. I do have an eyeshadow that's super similar to this, so if I'm ever truly craving that color, I can use that eyeshadow and make it work. I haven't reached for it since that one video where I was trying out makeup that I have kind of on the chopping block, or my least used makeup. I haven't used it since then, and I don't remember the last time I used it before that. I think the formula is gorgeous, super smooth, super easy to blend, it's buildable, it's amazing. I just never wear this, and even when it's like the warm summer months, I'm not wanting it, so it's gotta go. Sorry if the framing or lighting changed. I got a call in the middle and then I had to stop and continue. But on to the eyeshadows. I'm gonna go into the one that I'm actually throwing away first. The other ones I gave away, but this one I just didn't feel comfortable with giving away because this is from the e.l.f. New Classics palette, and I got that in December of 2019, and it was just getting a little bit too old for me to wanna just give away, you know? And it's an okay shadow. It's not like an amazing formula. It's kind of a shimmer with a black base. I am getting rid of this because I have a very similar dark brown with kind of a plummy undertone, but it's matte, and I would only use this as an eyeliner anyway, so I can just use the matte version and it's gonna have a very similar effect, but this has more of a grayish tone because of the shimmeriness and how it mixes. It's just not as pure of a color, and I kind of just prefer the matte version. So this is gonna just get tossed. The other 5 that I decided to declutter, I actually put in a palette with the ones I previously said I was gonna declutter, but I found someone who wants it. And I put these other 5 in as well in there. The first one is from the NYX Ultimate, I don't remember. It's their 16 pan palette. It's been so long since I've had the packaging, I've literally forgotten it. This pale peachy shimmer is really pretty, but I have 2 light peachy goldy kind of shades that are very similar but way more shiny and metallic. This one is a bit kind of like meh. Out of all these, this was like my least favorite formula. It's just a little too subtle for my liking. The other one from that NYX Ultimate Utopia palette, I just remembered, okay. The NYX Ultimate Utopia palette, another formula I didn't like from there was this bluey green, kind of grayish shade. It was a very interesting kind of like cloudy, murky color, but it has a lot of glitter fallout, which is annoying, and it's not like evenly metallic. It's kind of like an underwhelming shimmer with some like sparkles in it, and that's why it has more fallout. It's still like a really pretty shade. I have a similar-ish color in my Nomad palette, my Whistler British Columbia Ski Lodge one. It's a little bit more green, I think, and more metallic, but it's mostly just the formula. I didn't like the fallout kind of mess. Those are the two I didn't love the formulas of. The other three that I decluttered, I do think are genuinely really good, and I think the rest in that palette, most of them are BH Cosmetics, and those formulas are amazing. So I wasn't just giving her crappy formulas. Like the two that I gave her are like pretty colors. I wasn't amazed by the formula. But another one from a BH Cosmetics palette, it's just this really bright coral shade, and I try to use that in the makeup I never use, and I realized in order to like the color, I had to mix it with a blue to make it look kind of purpley, and then I'm like, I already have purple shades, like I just don't like the color. I don't know, it's not it for me. I have some lighter peachier shades that aren't quite as like coral and aggressive, and this one's just really orange for me, and I don't love that kind of tone. Great matte formula, perfect pigmentation. It's just not my color. One from my e.l.f. Earth and Ocean palette. It is this deep kind of peacocky teal metallic, gorgeous shade. But again, I have a very similar matte actually from that Ultimate Utopia palette from NYX. It's like the matte equivalent to this, and I would only use it as an eyeliner. This is a bit lighter and brighter than that, but I also have like this lighter, brighter teal. I just want a matte version if it's gonna be more of an eyeliner-y shade. I don't need a really dark metallic. It's too dark for my lids. I don't have the kind of eye shape that really pulls off a really dark, smoky lid. So I put that one in there, and then the last one is this ColourPop eyeshadow. If I want a metallic purple, it's gonna be like what I have on today. It's gonna be paler. I have a pale, more cool tone. This was like the slightly pinkier, warm lilac-y one, but I want kind of a murkier, more muted purple shade. I don't want like bright, metallic, mid-tone purple. Just not my thing. Also, this formula is very fragile and kind of flaky, so I sprayed it with some alcohol and pressed down to kind of make it more stable. But it's mostly just the color. I have more brighter colors in some mattes, but I'm not into super bright colors in general, and that kind of tone I never want to reach for. So those are all of the things I want to get rid of. I'm gonna see if that same friend I offer the eyeshadows to wants this blush, or maybe one of my sisters. I think blushes are easier to get rid of than eyeshadows because most people wear blush. Not that many people wear a ton of colorful eyeshadows. But that is everything I was getting rid of, just a small little declutter. Some of the things were decluttered against my will in a sense, but whatever. I hope that you enjoyed. Let me know if you decluttered anything recently, and I hope that you have an amazing day. Bye!